Y'all, so the time has come to say goodbye to the Pelican bag setup. We have sold them. They are on their way out to Phoenix, Arizona. So if you spot them, say what's up, take a photo. I would love to see them out and about. But wait, what does that mean? But luckily for y'all don't have to wait real time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, a much anticipated video after we dropped the photos on Instagram. If you haven't noticed, in this frame right now, we switched up our bag setup. That we're still running Pelicans, but not the Pelican 1430 cases any longer. Oh, why? Where did they go? What was our reasoning? We did enjoy that bag setup, but a few weeks ago, Elite Touring Innovations reached out to us and they wanted to jump on board with FXL Ron Burgundy, said he only deserves nothing but the best. And what better way to upgrade and complement the bike more so than with the Elite Touring Innovations bag setup. Now, before we get any further, I want to go ahead and notate that when you do order Performance Caser quick release setup, it is only for the hardware and does not include the bag setup. I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at Elite Touring Innovations. Be sure and check them out on Instagram as well as at their site at EliteTouringInnovations.com. See what they have. Nothing but thanks for jumping on board to an improved bag setup. And that's what today's video is going to be. It's going to be the install and what you can expect from the bracket hardware. The really cool thing about the Performance Caser quick release hardware, they have them for FXRs, they have them for Dynas, they have them for pre-M8 Softails as well as for M8 Softails, and they allow you to run a multitude of options in regards to bags. If you check out their Instagram at Elite Touring Innovations, you can peruse their photos in their feed and see that people have paired them up with Viking Cycle bags, the hard case bags. We have them on a set of Pelican 1485 bags with an additional bag coming. Wait for it, just wait. It's going to be coming within the next couple weeks, so be on the lookout for that video. And they have several additional upgrades that you can choose on their site as well. Two of those items you will see in today's video, where it's going to be some quick release handheld knobs that allow you to remove the cases or put them on without the use of any tools. The only tool that you would need to remove the bags if you don't upgrade to that is going to be an Allen key tool, and that will make it easier. But with the handheld upgrade, it prevents you from needing to bring anything additional on the road. In order to install the Performance Caser bracket, you are going to need several tools. One of them is going to be a couple drill bits, 5/16 and 9/16, a drill, some masking tape, a marker, and a friend preferably, because it was a lot more difficult trying to do it by yourself. But again, we got the bags in and we immediately wanted to get to work, and that was why we said we're doing it tonight. You know how it goes, because I really do like the way it looks. You're gonna see in the video that we do make a mistake. I'll show you on the bags on the hole that we drilled in good old Connor fashion. Instructions to the test by assuming, and you know what happens when you assume, that we end up drilling the wrong hole. That you'll see in the video that they have 4 holes. You have your 2 mounting ones up on top, which is going to be the 5/16 drill bit. That's when you'll be drilling. And then you have 2 slightly larger ones where we drilled where the mounting hardware goes into the fender strut instead of the bottom one where those quick release handles go into their quick release hardware. So it was a bit of a, oh no, how are we going to remedy this? And we were thinking, we were doing all kinds of stuff. We had started looking at Pelican's website to replace the bag. Thinking that worst case scenario, we really messed it up and we're just going to start fresh. But we were able to remedy it, and you'll see just how we do that. And on the other bag, we ended up deciding to do just a smaller hole where that drill mount option is. Now, the instructions call for a 9/16 hole. It's going to be the bottom one, which gives you plenty of room. And that's what we noticed. Instead of drilling the 9/16, we did a 5/16 hole where the support quick release bolt goes in, but the purpose for the 9/16, it allows you a little bit more room to wiggle and to line up the bolt with the threads on the quick release hardware. Because when we were feeding it and trying to secure the bags onto the bike, we had a couple issues where it seemed to be cross-threading or not lining up securely. So I had to do that good old-fashioned, take the bags off, stick the drill bit through the hole, and then just kind of angle it to widen the hole when we could have just done the appropriate 9/16 hole. One of the things that stood out in the instructions is that it did notate that in an experienced hand, it takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour for this job, which was really comforting because every once in a while you do run into a couple issues where the next thing you know, it's taking you a lot longer than expected, And that way you purchase the hardware from Elite Touring Innovations. Should it take you a little bit longer, just know that you are following along a good timeline. That I think overall, even with our trips back and forth to the hardware store, we thought we had items that we actually didn't. It was probably maybe 2 hours, and that includes our little, oh no, I think we messed up, and trying to troubleshoot that problem. But the bags look amazing. I've already gotten a ton of compliments. So many of y'all reached out on Instagram wondering how they look, how the quick release is, and I'm really excited to bring this forward to you, as well as what's coming in the next couple of weeks. We got wind that we may be getting another package from Elite Touring, but what is it? Stay tuned. I'm really excited for that. That one's gonna be super dope. And we were exchanging messages talking about some of the things that I thought I was gonna need for this new package, and it was just really awesome of how they're planning these products, that they found that there was a need for it, and they filled that gap between what's out there and what could be out there, and they just put them together. So they bring you this, which is really awesome. It'll allow you to have several bag option setups. The quick release hardware is around $230 US. It's $300 Canadian roughly. And there's a screenshot reflecting both prices for just the hardware only. If you're gonna be adding a bag setup, it'll depend on what bags you go with. The Pelican 1485 cases are about $150 depending on where you get it, and then you can even do it with those Pelican 1430 bags that we previously had. Or if you don't have quite the funds to spend it on the brackets themselves as well as bags, you can look at the Apache hard case bags from your local Harbor Freight store. Those are very affordable, and they'll give you the opportunity for storage without really breaking the bank, in conjunction with the quick release hardware from Elite Touring Innovations. And touching base back on the opportunity to have multiple bag setups, is if you want a wider bag setup, you can. You just have to buy an additional set of the Performance Caser hardware, or you can go ahead and just swap them back and forth. From that bag setup, you have your new bag setup. If you're gonna be planning well in advance, you have a trip coming up and those are your day-to-day bags. You have a camping trip, so say you're gonna be going to Four Corners next year, and then all of a sudden you get a wider bag that's gonna hold your tent, your camping gear, etc. Then you can just remove those bags, put those travel bags on, and with the quick release hardware, it does allow you the opportunity to run them, leave them at your camp, and that way you have a performance motorcycle ready to rip the streets of Colorado or wherever state you're at. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the bag setup. So you have your top latches, and it brings it down. Now, one of the cool things about this, we broke them in already. We went to our local Quick Trip, hashtag Quick Trip Chronicles. We got some pizza, we got a peace tea and a large Dasani water. And they were able to fit long ways, which made it really awesome. But what was really cool, what I discovered, was this is a mini table that you could probably put some sort of drawstring to hold support and it doesn't break. Put some food here and a drink, and it's a mini table on the go. This is how the Pelican 1485 bag looks on the inside. This is the hardware that comes with it, and this is the upgraded hardware that you would purchase. It makes it easier to remove the bag should you want to. This is simply with just a turn of your hand, and you're gonna see where we messed up. This was the first hole that we drilled, which is not in fact the appropriate mounting hole because nothing gets threaded. Here is the Allen bolt, which goes to our fender struts. And then this is the quick release hardware that's behind here. And so we had to drill a secondary hole for it to feed through, and it just screws right in. Now, when you are screwing this in, if you do have some issue getting it through, if you do the secondary hole, is one of the things that we noticed is sometimes we have to push the bag back to allow the bolts to feed through without any resistance, and it makes it much easier to install, to insert your bolt. And there it is. And here's the upgraded hardware that you can purchase, which makes install and removal extremely easy because you don't need any additional tools to bring with you. This is already on the bag, and it makes installing and removing them so much easier. And that's your bag setup. That you have room for lock on both sides to secure belongings, and you're good. You could add a drawstring here to prevent that, where it would just kind of stop there without having that bounce. You'll have a little bit of a wiggle when you're riding, but nothing to be worried about as long as you ensure that your bag retention bolts, I'm not sure what that's called, that's what we're going with, it sounds official, is through the thread and securing it to the quick release hardware on the inside. So to remove the bags, There it is. You can close it. And here is how the quick release hardware looks. You have two 5/16 bolts coming out from the bottom securing it to the bag. You have this small indentation that allows the bolt to be passed through. And the thread on the quick release hardware is here on the bottom, and these attach to your fender struts through some longer bolts. I forget the sizing on these.